My name is Dzikamai Bere. I come from Zimbabwe. I work as a researcher on human rights and transitional justice. Zimbabwe is a very beautiful country. If you think of your 7 natural wonders of the world, Zimbabwe can provide the Victoria Falls for you. If you think of the export on new music market, we have some of the biggest names on the world stage, but we also happen to have a very ugly history of gross human rights violations. I started off my career in the Ministry of Justice in 2005 as a magistrate, and I worked for about 3 years. And I realized I needed to be more involved in the push for justice rather than just listening to testimonies and giving out sentences. That's when I decided to join civil society. So in 2009, I joined the Zimbabwe Human Rights NGO Forum as a researcher and started the process of public consultations on transitional justice. One of the things that we really need to invest in is to make sure that we have a structured, deliberate reconciliation process that puts at the forefront the views of the victims. So because of that, I needed an area, space to sit back and reflect on my role in this process, and also reskill and meet people from other parts of Africa, young leaders like myself, and also meet some of the experts who have been working on these areas. I think the biggest take away for me from the Presidential Precinct would be a celebration of youth leadership. I was struck during the opening ceremony when we saw the entire Charlottesville or Virginia community coming together with big names, people like Tim Kaine, people like John Grisham, people like Ben Rhodes, and their message was very consistent. You have got a role to play. So besides the academic curriculum, I think it is the inspiration of the place and the way the program is structured to make you realize that you've got a role to play. Zimbabwe is at a tipping point. I do believe we are at the next phase of a post-independence transition. If I look back at our last transition, I do feel we now have an opportunity to fix those things that we failed at the other transition. And I think this calls upon young people in Zimbabwe and their fellows from all over Africa and even around the world, maybe to join that particular struggle to see how we can make sure that the next transition is not just a transition in name, but actually a transformation of the society, so that we open up the political space, the governance space, the economic space for wider participation, so that we also encourage young people to take leadership positions, but also we encourage the world to invest in Zimbabwe in different aspects of the country that will help us build the society.